പ്രിയ ബഹുജൻ സമാജികളെ, രാഷ്ട്രീയ സാമൂഹ്യ സാംസ്കാരിക പ്രവർത്തകരെ, സഹോദരങ്ങളെ, ഇന്ന് മഹാത്മാ അയ്യങ്കാളിയുടെ 158ാം ജന്മവാർഷിക ദിനം. ഇന്ന് ബഹുജൻ ദ്രാവിഡ പാർട്ടി ഓൾ ഇന്ത്യ ലെവലിൽ ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ മഹാത്മാ അയ്യങ്കാളിയുടെ ജന്മദിനം ആഘോഷപൂർവ്വം കൊണ്ടാടുകയാണ്. കേരള രാഷ്ട്രീയത്തിൽ, കേരള നവോത്ഥാന മണ്ഡലങ്ങളിൽ ഒരിടിമുഴക്കം പോലെ സവർണ മാടമ്പി തമ്പുരാക്കന്മാരുടെ അനീതിക്കും അക്രമങ്ങൾക്കുമെതിരെ സന്ധിയില്ലാ സമരം നയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കേരളത്തെ പ്രകമ്പനം കൊള്ളിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കടന്നുപോയ മഹാത്മാ അയ്യങ്കാളിയുടെ ജന്മവാർഷിക ദിനം സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം ഏവരും കൊണ്ടാടുകയാണ്. ഈ സമ്മേളന പരിപാടിയിൽ ഏവരെയും സന്തോഷപൂർവ്വം, ഹൃദയപൂർവ്വം സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ജയ് ഭീം, ജയ് കാൻശ്രാം, ജയ് അയ്യങ്കാളി, ജയ് BDP.
Dear Bahujan Dravida brothers and sisters, first of all, I want to ask this question, that why we are holding such a national level event on the important day of Mahatma Aiyangala. We are calling himself as a Mahatma. Yes, he is a true Mahatma for our Bahujan Dravida Samaj. We are holding this program to commemorate his great deeds on his 158th birth anniversary, and also to recollect whether his dreams were fulfilled or not. It is more important. We need an event like this to stimulate the liberating thought which is dormant within you, and to revive your inspiration. For centuries, we taught in the absence of gurus. The life journey of many Bahujan Dravida individuals got enlightened by their own seeking. Through their enlightenment, we people got our gurus. We all know that the character of A. Kalaivan in the history. In the absence of Guru, A. Kalaivan rose to become the great archery player who could defeat Arjuna. Then what happened to A. Kalaivan? The Brahmins were not tolerated this. Finally, A. Kalaivan thumb slipped. Really, for someone who has a deep seeking for the truth, for them, the spark of lightning would start to shine within them. Yes, for someone who has deeply seeking for the truth, that is more important. For them, the spark of lightning would start to shine within them. During the golden period of Sanatana Dharma, the great Mahatma Ayyangala was born from the Shudra class. I don't know if all of you know or do not know, but I want to tell one important history which I have read from the books, that the two most brutal law enforced in India. One was Peshwa Brahmins in Pune, Maharashtra, and the other Nambudri Brahmins in the state of Travancore in Kerala. The command given by the Peshwa Brahmins to the Sudra was to have a mug around their neck, broom around their wrists, and bell on their hands. Shudras should carry this wherever they move. The same command was given by the Nambudiri Brahmins to the Shudra that women should not hide their chest. And another command that Shudra stood 64 feet away from the Nair community and 150 feet away from the Nambudiri Brahmins. Shudras were called as unseeable community and unapproachable caste. Nowhere in India are not seen as such brutal atrocities made by the Brahmins, Nambudiri Brahmins. Rest of the states, according to the Sanatana Dharma, rest of the states are having only the people of untouchables. But in Kerala, the Nambudiri Brahmins announced some sector of people as a unseeable and unapproachable community. During this dark age of Shudras at Kerala, Mahatma Ayangali was born on the 28th August 1863 in an agriculture family in Perumbukattu Villa, Thiruvananthapuram. He belongs to the Pulaya caste. When I read the history of Mahatma Ayangali, I felt it was similar to that the history of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule life history too. Mahatma Jyotiba Phule faced the caste discrimination when he went to attend the marriage ceremony of his upper caste friend's home. Just like the same, Ayangali also faced the caste discrimination when his childhood days while playing a football with a caste Hindu children. He was being beaten up by the upper caste Hindus. On the same day, he vowed not to play with the upper caste Hindus. Even before Babasaheb Ambedkar, Mahatma Ayangali used the formula educate, agitate, and organize. His struggle was to create a casteless society. Mahatma Ayangali's life struggle was to achieve equality, liberty, and fraternity in Indian society. Your education should be aimed at social transformation and economic emancipation. If your education remains as an education that fills your stomach, it will destroy not only you, it will destroy your own community too. If you get the right education, there will be a rebellious provoke within you. That rebellion will automatically consolidate you as a Sangha. So the people, actually the so-called elite groups, fail to understand the importance of right to education. The so-called educated peoples wanted to fill their belly. They are not go and get the right education. If they get the right education, there will be a rebellious provoke within themselves. That rebellion will automatically consolidate you as a Sangha or association or the party. So at the age of 30, Mahatma Ayangali started his awareness program to the Bahujan Dravida masses through his Bocart. He wrote a Bocart against the ban on untouchables from accessing the public road by the caste Hindus. To crush the chain of slavery built in the name of caste, Mahatma Ayangali wrapped a rope around his shoulder, tied a turban, and traveled with his go-kart on the public streets and markets. Although this event refreshed the upper caste oppressed people, it annoyed and surprised the upper caste Hindus. Ayangali held a rally in Balarampuram demanding the rights of the untouchables. The rally was called the Walk for Freedom. Some people, the so-called upper caste people during the colonial period, the so-called upper caste people walk for the freedom from Britishers. But Ayangali walked for the freedom from the so-called caste Hindus, because those people oppressed our people. So that's what his struggle was, to get a freedom from the upper caste, Sanatana Dharma. The rally was inflated by upper caste Hindu gundas. Thus, the great riot broke out. This riot was known as Chalia riots. The hundreds of Bahujana Dravidas were injured in this riot, but they fought very bravely under the leadership of Mahatma Ayyankali and won a fundamental rights. As the scheduled caste students were not allowed to enter schools during the period of Ayyankali, so Mahatma Ayyankali encouraged Pulaya farmers to go on the strike and declare one of the main important slogan he had given to the Pulaya community, that if our kids are not allowed to enter your school, your paddies will grow mere weeds. That is a powerful slogan given by Mahatma Ayyankali, that if our kids are not allowed to enter your school, your paddies will grow mere weeds. So that slogan given a strong boost to our people. At the same time, the upper caste people also get annoyed and scared about this slogan too. This was the first strike of the working class people in Kerala conducted by Mahatma Ayyankali. After the long struggle of Mahatma Ayyankali with the working class people, on March 1st, 1910, the Trivandrum government ordered that Pulaya children to be admitted in all schools which Yelava children have to have access to. Inspired by Sri Narayana Guru, who was the social cultural reformer from Yelava caste, Ayyankali started Sadhujana Paribalana Sangam, which later raised the funds to start their own school. In 1916, he established Tiyankara Pulaya School. Later, hundreds of offices of Sadhujana Paribalana Sangams were turned into schools. And also another one important event he did, that he removed all the subcaste contradictions that existed among the scheduled caste in the Kerala and united them to travel under one umbrella. Moreover, he was a pioneer in empowering the Bahujana Dravida in educationally, socially, and also he fought to politicize the Bahujana Dravida masses. In 1912, Ayyankali was nominated as a member of Shri Mulam Popular Assembly, a position he held till his death. Mahatma Ayyankali was the first scheduled caste person to be nominated to the legislature in the colonial India. In the assembly, Ayyankali constantly raised the problems being encountered by Pulaya children in acquiring education. His focus was only the education. Poor representations of the Bahujana Dravida in jobs, and also unemployment and land for Bahujana Dravidas, that forced the government to sit up and take a notice. And in 1914, an order was issued stipulating a strict adherence to the educational policy. Ayyankali passed away on 18th June 1941, but his immense struggle of history did not reach at the national level. If Mahatma Ayyankali had not been struggled for the social change, the situation of the Bahujana Dravida in Kerala have been much worse. So in this occasion, we have paid to our gratitude to Mahatma Ayyankali's struggle. So in the name of social organization in Kerala, who worked on the basis of Iyengali have become a stooges of the Brahminical forces and also uphold the policy which was against Iyengali policies. Iyengali policies was against Sanatana Dharma. But at present, some in the name of social organization, they are killing not only the democracy, they are killing the mission of Iyengali. But the true followers of Iyengali have been continuously fighting for the highest goal of equality, liberty, fraternity. As such a people are the ones sitting in this Zoom meeting today. On this historical day, I would like to invite to join the Bahujan Dravida Party to fulfill the dreams of Iyengali. J. Kanshiram, J. Periyar, J. Iyengali, J. Bahujan Dravida Party. Thank you very much.
बहुजन द्राविड़ा आगे बढ़ो, अब अपना नया इतिहास रचो.
We can create even casteless society only by becoming rulers of India.